We look at your business as a bunch of portfolios. You know how traders look at all these different markets. So they'll look at an equity market, FX market, energy market, whatever, and they'll say, how do all these markets compare? How do I trade them, etc. We look at your business kind of the same way as, okay, your CapEx expenditures, your OPex expenditures, your HR, your risk factors. We look at everything across the board and we analyze it using these quantitative tools. We use AI, we use algorithms, and we say, give us 5 years of your data. We'll analyze that data, and what we do is what Robert likes to say is, we'll find money that you didn't know was there. In theory, we'll usually find 10% savings for you, but we've found 30% savings, we've found 50% savings, and we'll say, we found this in your infrastructure. Our tools and our models sometimes can find things that you yourself couldn't find.
How is this different from a standard FP&A?
Unlike traditional FP&A analysis, he looks at moving data. Okay, traditional FP&A is pretty much static information. Okay, it'll look at data that's been in your infrastructure or in your database for a while. But in the new world, in the new modeling world, we can input data in real time, and it can be analyzed with our models in real time and give decision makers the ability to make new decisions much more quickly. So as opposed to looking at static data that might have been in your database for a while and might be old news, what the new world allows you to do is look at data in real time and use our models to make much quicker decisions.
What sectors have shown the most interest?
Sort of bread and butter has been governments, and we've worked for some large municipalities. We worked for one of the largest municipalities in the world and worked for them for a long time. That's been sort of our biggest client. We worked for some big state governments. We've worked for a lot of airports, and we are branching out now into the financial services sector. So we're talking to some banks and exchanges. We've worked with Walmart. We've worked with a number of other large institutions. And again, what they're seeing in our value and what our value proposition is, in this day and age, everybody's looking to cut costs. How do we optimize our business? And many very great minds within these companies have said, there are certain areas of our companies that we can't figure out how to streamline, how to optimize. And we provide this help that maybe we can find things that you haven't. And so we're branching out into all areas. There really isn't any type of business we can't help. But I say up till now, it's been mainly government. And they've brought me in to really help them get business in the private sector.
What is an example of success?
We had a very large municipality come to us, again, looking at the portfolio model. A lot of different aspects of that entity were not functioning as well as they could. Vendor spend, for example. That's a big problem a lot of different entities have. Technology spend, operational spend. What we were able to do is identify a lot of waste in vendor spend, duplication of efforts. We found in certain situations they could pay early with certain vendors and save money. We found situations where they were duplicating software expenditures. So we uncovered a lot of areas that they didn't really know they were doing where we saved them a lot of money. Same thing with CapEx expenditures, OPex expenditures, in some cases real estate expenditures where they were leasing building space that they were duplicating that they didn't really need. And in a big institution, a lot of times they don't know if they exist unless you really dig, and we were able to find that.
What are the biggest challenges?
Let's say it's an institution that has been around for a while. A lot of them are set in their ways. They've done the same thing for a long period of time. When I first started at CME, one of the answers that I always got whenever we would try to change things is, well, we've done it this way for 20 years, right? There's a lot of companies like that. CME's not like that anymore. But a lot of our clients will say, well, we can't change the way we did it because we've used the same database this way forever. And they're resistant to doing things with AI. They're resistant to doing things with, quantitative data, et cetera. So we educate them, we teach them. we get them certification. If there are technicians that need training, we get them training. And we do it in stages, okay? So we don't just throw them into the fire. We have them sit side by side with our data people, with our scientists. And we've got some really, really great people who are great at coaching and educating them and teaching them. So we guide them along and hold their hand. And also, sometimes they don't realize that doing things manually is one of the reasons it's costing them so much money. And when they realize, hey, we can actually save money, make our lives easier, it helps pave the way for change.
What role will AI play in the future of financial planning and analysis?
We really think that it's going to be a major factor in FP&A going forward. We don't think it's the only factor, but we do see it as a major role in the future. And as I said at the very beginning, we're building everything we do right now. This FP&A offering, that's what I'm selling. Our FP&A offering, we think is going to be the way of the future that everyone's going to look at their businesses. They're going to look at it as portfolios. They're going to analyze each part of their business to optimize it. And we think it's going to be a major part of how everyone runs their business going forward.
How do you measure your ROI?
We ask for 5 years of data when we get engaged with you. We usually do a proof of concept to start out with. We'll say, give us a part of your business, whether it's, your tech spend or whatever part of your business you want to give us. We will analyze that 5 years of data over 90 days. We'll hand you back that roadmap and we'll say, this is where we think you're going to find significant savings, 10%, 20%, 30%. And then you can engage us to help you find those savings, or you could do it yourself. At the end of whatever period of time it takes you to do that roadmap, you'll see those savings, okay? That's one way that we do it. You'll find that ROI because we've found it, and if you don't see it, then we haven't proved our worth. But that's one way that we do it, but also just through customer satisfaction. We consider, our customers our main, source of pride, right? If, one of the things that when I was at CME, we used to say, customers mean everything. They mean everything to us as well at Quant16. So, customer satisfaction is key. Did the customer feel they got their money's worth? And the return on equity, the 16 times return, that kind of thing. So that's how we measure it. Everything is done very mathematically. But it's also done with, do they feel satisfied? It's not just mathematical.
How did a leg to stand on do in 2024?
We keep building, great customer sponsors, expanding new customers that support us. By customers, I mean people like, CME, CBOE, but we keep bringing in new sponsors and more individuals that really love the cause. And we really do believe mobility is a human right. And more people are seeing the work that we've done. 23,000 children we've helped since 2005. It's just such a great thing to do to help a child who is living in another part of the world, who is born with club foot or born without a leg or injured by a landmine in Afghanistan or hurt in a motorcycle accident and can't get to school. $250 gives them a leg, and we treat them till they're 21 years old. And it helps them to go to school, helps them to help their family in the field, etc. And I think so many people tell their friends about it, and they tell their friends. And it's just really great to see how much it's grown. Chuck Mackey and I gave Gabby Everard the idea that we should come to Chicago and do this 13 years ago. And 13 years later, it's bigger than ever. And we'd like to get it much bigger. We've raised $1 million this year. We look at Robinhood, which raises, $100 million. We'd love to get this to 2 million, 3 million or more. But thanks for asking about it. You've been a big supporter. The Chicago market has been great. We think mobility is a human right. And we're going to just keep working this and finding new blood. If anyone is watching this tape, wants to get involved, please join us. You don't have to donate money, you can donate your time. We're looking for more people to join the committee. We're looking for more sponsors. We'd love to expand this back to London, to Asia, back to other parts of the world, because it's a world need. There are hundreds of thousands of kids that need these limbs, and we give them the gift from the time they need it till they're 21, and it's all free. All the videos are online. You can go to altso.org and watch the videos. A lot of the bands post on Facebook or Instagram. You can send me an email, raymac1999@mac.com, and I can send it to you. Yeah, you can find them. And then we have a label. We have an ALTSO music label that's on, you can go on to iTunes and listen to all the music, and every time you stream it, the proceeds go to the label. And if you have a band and you want to put a song out with us, we'll put a song out for you. So I know your nephew has music. We're going to put out more songs. I've got somebody from Morgan Stanley, a managing director whose kids sing, and they're going to put a song out coming up soon. So reach out to me any way you want to get involved. We'd love to have you.